I'm Lieutenant General retired Jack Hudson, and I'm the museum director here at Wright-Patterson. I've been the director since December of 2010. Well, the Memphis Belle, it's a huge milestone for the Belle today because we've been working on the restoration for a good number of years now. And so the airplane's been out of the public eye during this entire time. And so to bring the Memphis Belle over today and then bring Shoo 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 Baby out, which will go back to our restoration hangar for storage, is a huge milestone. It is a big step along the way to having the exhibitry ready for the grand unveiling to the public on 17th of May. So it's about 2 months away. So we're on track to have all that done and ready for the public in 2 months. Back in May, the public will see the airplane. It will be up on stands, so it'll appear as if it's in flight. The landing gear will be retracted. So it's going to be a great view of the aircraft. And when the Belle came over today, the cover was over the nose art. You know, we're keeping that covered until the unveiling in mid-May. So the cover will be off at that point. And then all the exhibits around the Memphis Belle will be able to tell the full story of what the Army Air Forces did in Europe during World War II with strategic bombardment. We'll talk about the air crews, the missions, how they took care of themselves at high altitudes and under enemy attack, and everything associated with all that was done for those missions in World War II. So that will be in full come mid-May and available for everyone to see.
The Memphis Belle came out of its restoration hangar and we ran right over. And I see the Shoo Shoo Baby is here, looking fantastic, and can't wait to see the Memphis Belle someday. I was over in England just a few months ago, and in the Eagle Pub they had a picture of the crew with their original signatures on the wall. They've been there ever since the 40s, since they shipped back over to the United States. So it's kind of come full circle from England and its mission over there to here at Wright-Pat, where final resting place. Incredible.
My name is Jeff Duford, and I'm the lead curator for the Memphis Belle project at the National Museum of the U.S. Air Force. I have been involved with this project for more than a decade. The Memphis Belle came here in 2005, and we started doing prep work for the Belle to come out here a couple years before it arrived. It's hard to count the thousands of hours that the staff has put in on this project. The restoration, the exhibit, the absolutely fantastic event that will be taking place on the 17th through the 19th of May this year. Really countless hours. Incredible attention to detail, being incredibly careful with the restoration, preparing the artifacts for exhibit, contacting family members from the Memphis Belle crew. They've been incredibly generous. The exhibit that's going to be here opening up on May 17th will include artifacts from 7 of the Memphis Belle crew members, and also the wartime uniform of Major William Wyler, who was the famous Hollywood director that made the Memphis Belle movie that aired in 1944. Don't track the money, the costs of how to preserve this aircraft. This is one of our nation's treasures, and we focus on making sure that we do the restoration carefully and accurately and properly.
Casey Simmons. I'm a restoration specialist here at the Air Force Museum. Started here in 2007. The aircraft came here in 2005. It was one of the first projects that I actually worked on, and I've been working on it my entire career that I've been here. One of the hard things about a 1940s era bomber would be acquiring parts that are missing. Try and find other sources to get them. If you cannot acquire the parts, then we have to manufacture the parts from scratch. So it would be going to the blueprints and actually making the parts. Majority of aircraft is original to the Memphis Belle. If I had to guess, it'd be about 10% of the aircraft has been created new for it due to vandalism of the aircraft, parts that were just completely missing, or corrosion that had to be replaced. Yeah, I painted the nose art on the Memphis Belle. It was very challenging because you have an idea of what the Memphis Belle nose art is supposed to be. Then when you actually start looking at the pictures and the film from that time period, it's not what you think it was. She doesn't look like the petty girl from the calendar.
From the Esquire magazine.
Yes, yeah. Her hair is completely different. The two girls on each side of the airplane are different from each other. The way that the shape on their arms, shape on their body, hairstyles are completely different. So that was a challenge to try and look at most of the time blurry photographs and figure out what it's supposed to be so you can paint a very clear image on the aircraft. So it was a really great honor to be able to do that, and probably the highlight of my career while I'm here.
Said I was going to drive him to school today, and while in the car I had him read the letter from the Air Force Museum inviting us out for this event. And while we were in the car, and then he was reading it and didn't understand it, and then I says, "Look where we're going." He goes, "We're not going to school, are we?" I said, "No, we're going." He says, "Where are we going?" I said, "The Air Force Museum." So it's kind of exciting.
So happy, and I started crying a little. It was amazingly nice of him to take me out here.
Under a long-standing arrangement with the Smithsonian, Shoo 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 Baby eventually will go back to D.C. Smithsonian will pay for that transportation when Smithsonian is ready to receive the aircraft. We will keep Shoo Shoo in long-term storage until then, and then Smithsonian, when it's ready, they get the airplane there and they'll figure out how to get the airplane on display and go from there.